YouTube, what's going on? How's it going? Come on, Val. Welcome back to the woods for another video. This is my second time recording this because the last time my mic was turned off. Today's video I'm going to be talking about the loadouts in Call of Duty Warzone and what I am using currently. I'm just going to go over my guns and the attachments I am using. I would like to make another video for perks, so let me know down below if you would like to see that as well. For the loadouts, I mainly use an M4, an MP5, and an HDR, and I will show you all three of those weapon attachments that I have on those guns, and I'll also kind of give you a little tips and tricks of when to pull out these weapon loadouts. If you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure you drop a like down below, subscribe for more Call of Duty Warzone content, and make sure you follow me on twitter.com/IamConnorWoods and let me know what else you guys want to see on there and down below in the comments. You guys can also catch me live at twitch.tv/ConnorWoods, where you can see me playing Call of Duty Warzone for hours on end during this quarantine period from Corona. Now, with all that aside, let's just hop right into the loadouts. Alright, gonna hop over here into the loadout. So I'll tell you guys right now, like I said in the intro, my main weapons I use are the M4A1, the MP5 submachine gun, and the HDR sniper. What's key, I think, in Call of Duty Warzone is the fact that the loadout drops are such the meta game style and gameplay use in the game right now. It's what makes it different from every other BR. Many content people and people that are playing the game are saying they need to do something different with the loadouts. I personally think it's fun, it's fast playing. I don't want to loot for hours on end to find my weapons. I want to find quick weapons, get a few kills, get the cash, get my loadout, run around the map, get set for the win. Now, with all that being said, in many cases with Warzone, you will get probably 2 loadout drops within the game. You could probably buy your own at the very start, as I do, and then you'll also probably find a random one that is dropped for your team later on in the match. What this allows you to do is to make 2 really good classes that are very situational. One is kind of a run and gun style early game loadout that you can use for early game gunfights and killing as many people as you can, whereas the second loadout I use is very beneficial for late game, having perks on like Cold-Blooded and Ghost to keep you sneaky and hiding from enemy thermals, enemy UAVs, and just keeping you out of the way of too many unnecessary gunfights. Let's talk about my early game run and gun class here. I like to start off with my M4A1. I personally have the breakup variant, which lets me shoot pink bullets, which I absolutely love. Obviously not necessary and doesn't do anything for you in game. I just like it cosmetically, it looks dope. But let's talk about the attachments. The main attachment here that I think is going to be key for you guys is the monolithic suppressor. The monolithic suppressor, if you have it unlocked, it gives you your sound suppression, which is key in not letting enemies know where you are when you're in gunfights. The worst thing in BRs, in any BR, is third partying. That is when you get into a gunfight with an enemy team and another team hears the fighting, pushes you guys from behind while you're all weak before you have a chance to heal up and loot, and they finish you off. The nice part about the monolithic suppressor, and any suppressor in the game really, is that it keeps you silent. When you're fighting a team, the other team doesn't know how many there are of you, they don't know your exact position based on the UAV ping, and it'll be harder for them to track you down. Now, the reason I say the monolithic suppressor is your best attachment in this case is the difference between other suppressors, especially in previous Call of Duties, and this one is usually the suppressor lowers your damage range. This suppressor actually increases your damage range. It is a very good suppressor because it keeps everything silent, increases your damage range. You can get those long shots in from afar without anybody knowing where you are. Throw this bad boy on. It's going to make a heck of a difference for you guys. Now, the next attachment on your M4, we're going to go into the barrels. For the barrels here, there are 2 barrels that are very good on the M4. One would be the stock M16 Grenadier. As you can see, the pros damage range, velocity, recoil control. Corvus Custom Marksman, the same thing. All right, these are the 2 you are going to want to use. The cons are the exact same as well. I personally like the Corvus Custom, and I think a lot of people will tell you that it seems like it's stronger than a Grenadier, or however they say that one. Nobody likes that one because you can't even say it properly. This one is great. I find I don't know, there's something about it that I just find it kills better and faster. So throw this bad boy on as well. If you don't have a barrel, I find it's going to be a little bit tougher in those long range fights with the M4. Now, this is going to be a preferential attachment for you guys. This is going to be the optic. A lot of people play without the optic, and instead they might put on an underbarrel, or they might put no stock on the stock option. I personally like having that optic. I feel like it does make a difference for me personally. But here, you know, you could go the Cronin, you could go the holographic sights. I personally find the GI Mini Reflex is the best sight in the game, and I definitely definitely would recommend it for anybody playing and wanting to use a sight on your gun. Now, on the other side, the other attachment you can use here is a thermal hybrid. And we'll actually talk about this a little bit in another class setup I have. But for this one, this is a bit more of a faster M4 I like to use. Throw on the GI Mini Reflex. It might just help just that little bit extra. My rear grip, all right, like I said, this is more faster M4. I'm using the stippled grip tape. As my friend Jay calls it, the stippled gritape. The reason I am using this is just for your aim down sight speed and your sprint to fire speed. That way, if you do get in any close engagements or you randomly see enemies and you quickly need to pull up and start shooting before they shoot at you, you can do so with this rear grip. The other rear grips are great for more longer range fights or pre-aiming fights, whereas the stippled one is more for a closer range and quick gunfights. I personally like this for my running and gunning class, and it's a very good attachment almost in every scenario. So I would definitely give this one a shot. If you can also hold your recoil control and get used to that aim, this is going to be a very, very great grip tape for you to use at long range as well if you can manage the recoil. Now another key one here, and you can also switch this one out for sleight of hand if you want on the perk, but I personally find having the 60 round mags is a lot better than sleight of hand, which I used for a while. 60 round mags is going to be great for two reasons. One, if the gunfights take longer, they're full ammo, or there's multiple enemies, you can shoot them all at once without having to reload. The other reason, thirsting in this game is key. Reviving is very, very quick, and a lot of players are now buying self-revives. If you down somebody in, let's say, 15 bullets, you can finish them off with another 10 bullets and then keep going and shooting the other teammates because you still have another 35 bullets in your mag. Quick math. So I would highly suggest ammunition putting the 60 round mags on. The main three I would say you guys really want to run here is the 60 round mag, the Corvus Custom or Grenadier barrel, and then the monolithic suppressor. Rear grip, underbarrel, optic, I think all those three are interchangeable. Do whatever works for you. If you like the iron sights, switch to the Ranger foregrip or the Commando foregrip underbarrel, and those will really help you out as well in your gunfights and long range and steadiness. Now moving on to my secondary on this class. So because I have another secondary primary weapon, that means I'm running overkill, right? I'm using the MP5. A lot of people are running like the Bison and a lot of people are running the MP7. I personally don't have any good attachments on those weapons. I don't really like the MP7 myself. I find close range, it does fry. It does get a lot of shots off very quickly. But I find anything medium range or longer range, it just does not do the damage I need. The Bison's really nice at that medium range. It's very steady. It can pack a bit of a punch. Shoots a bit slower. Has a very big mag, which is great. The magazine size is awesome. Now the only thing about the Bison, again, I just don't think it's as powerful as the MP5. The MP5 from range could do some damage as well, which I really, really like. If you can hit your shots with it, it's just unreal. It's practically an AR. If you watch any of CDL in the pro scene, a lot of players will also say that the MP5 is probably the most versatile gun in the game. Now let's move into the attachments. All right, so this is a fast style playing MP5. As you can see, again, down here on the rear grip, we have the stippled gritape. We already discussed this, same thing for the MP5. It just pulls it up quicker and gets that firing faster. On the underbarrel, we have the Commando foregrip. This is just to help a little bit with the aim, as it is a submachine gun, so the recoil can be kind of crazy. And we're just using this to get those quicker, more precise shots down in close range. On stock, I have the FTAC collapsible stock. This is just letting us have our movement speed faster and our aim down sight speed faster. So this is really good, again, for getting in those quick close range gunfights, pulling the weapon up as quick as possible. Now, the biggest thing for the MP5, and some people might tell you different, some people might say it's better to run the 45 magazine ammunition. I just don't think so. The great thing about the MP5 is you can put on the 10mm rounds, 30 round mag. This increases your damage and your range. If you want a submachine gun that's going to be fast, close range, but also can do damage medium to far range, you need this attachment on. It slows down the fire rate, slows down the recoil control a little bit, but I find it kills faster and does a heck of a lot more damage than having those extra 15 shots in that 45 round mag. So I would highly suggest putting in the 10mm auto 30 round mags onto your MP5. And now talking again about the sneakiness and the silencing, we have in our barrel, we have the monolithic integral suppressor. It just increases that bullet velocity and has that sound suppression. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. I will say though, you can interchange this with the monolithic suppressor, which will just increase your damage range. This one is a little bit better for the more medium to far range fights, whereas the monolithic integral suppressor is going to really help you out in those more close range quick fights. So this is what I run for my quick class. Now quickly, again, I don't want to talk too much about the perks, but I do have double time on and then tracker as well. And that again is just for tracking down enemies as quick as I can and running as quick as I can to get the kills I need, collecting all that cash and that loot to get ready and set up for end game. My lethals, I run the same on every single class. That is my smoke grenade. This is just helps you get out of sticky situations. And if you have a thermal on your gun, which I'll show you later, it really does help you for laying down suppressed and hidden fire onto enemies that are fighting with you. You can throw the smoke down in between you and the enemies, pull out your thermal scope and start firing at them, and they will just be lost. Now, a great lethal I've been using recently is a Molotov cocktail. Not only does it do great damage, but it also can cut off lanes for enemies pushing you. Let's say you're in a stairwell, you kill and down one enemy, and you know their teammates are coming, but you're weak. You throw the Molotov cocktail, you get back, you heal up, and then you push down once that finishes. It'll also put a little bit of damage onto your enemies and will also help you finish kills. In this clip, you can see that I throw the Molotov cocktail to down the enemy and to also try and finish him before he can get back for the revive to his teammate. So I believe these two lethals are great. The Molotov cocktail doesn't go very far, so don't expect to be Kobeing that thing across map to try and get a kill. Now, in a more sneaky class here, I have again my break up M4A1. On this class though, we are running cold-blooded and ghost. We got the same lethal, same tactical, and a little bit of difference in our M4. This M4 here, as you can see, I'm still running the barrel, the muzzle, and the ammunition all the same here. Again, I think these are very key factors for the M4. What I changed up here was the rear grip and underbarrel. This is a lot more of a slower pace M4, one that is made more so for endgame if need be, and more so for just playing slow and like playing almost like positionally. On the underbarrel, we threw on the Ranger foregrip, which is going to be the best underbarrel and grip for kind of long range and stability. We got the recoil control and the aiming stability, so this is just going to help you guys hit your shots. The other big difference here is the optic. We have the thermal hybrid optic. With this optic, we can switch it between the thermal scope or between a reflex sight. What's great about those is one is very good for close range, one is very good for like long range or finding enemies. Here we go back to talking about that smoke play. Let's say you're in a fight and you're laying down short range fire with your reflex sight. The enemy is getting shots on you and you just need to cover for a quick second. You throw down a smoke, you run into that smoke, you switch to your thermal, and you can see the enemy lay down shots on them and get a quick sneaky kill without them hurting you. So that's basically it for this M4. This M4, this class, I will generally grab it if it's more end game. Let's say I just come back from the gulag and it's very late in the game. I might grab this for the cold-blooded and for the ghost, and so I can just have a bit more of a long range firing weapon. Other than that, I have not been using this loadout as much recently, as I'm finding the games are a lot more faster paced and you need a little bit more pull-up ADS speed than you do actually needing to pre-aim longer fights. Now, this class, the only time I pull this out is if I already have a secondary weapon like my fast-paced M4 or my MP5 or even my more long-range slow M4. If I have one of those classes already in my hand, I will then go grab this loadout. I will drop the pistol and pick up one of those pre-made M4 classes that I already have. That way I'm running my thermal HDR with my M4. Again, this class is running cold-blooded and ghost, and these perks are huge for endgame, so you're a little bit more invisible to thermals with your cold-blooded, and then you also have ghost to hide from those UAVs. Running the same lethal and tactical as always. Let's take a look at our HDR. Now the HDR, I'm still unlocking things for it. So as you can see, I actually have a lot of new attachments because I've kind of been going off with it low key. Now, I had the tactical suppressor on it, and as you can see, I have the monolithic on. And we were putting that on 100%. I am so happy I had that unlocked. I had no idea. As you can tell at a quick glance, the 26.9-inch HDR Pro is easily the best barrel. It does the best amount of damage, the bullet velocity is better, and it has recoil control, same as these ones here. It's a no-brainer. You throw this barrel on, and you're really going to want to throw it on if you want to get those one-shot downs. From here, of course, you have the thermal sniper scope. Now, I have the thermal sniper scope on. I think there's a thermal hybrid scope here, variable scope. I don't know. But I think I'm going to try out the Merc thermal optic. Anyway, regardless, now I have the thermal sniper scope on. Again, thermal is huge in this game. It is meta. It is the way you play. Now, I am using the thermal sniper scope again with my smoke plays. I have cold-blooded on, so it's going to help me defend against other teams that might have a thermal scope as well. And I mean, thermal is just enough set. Like, that's what you need. That is what you need. I'm also running the perk FMJ just to do a little bit more bullet penetration. I didn't have anything else really unlocked, so I was running that. For the stock, I have on the FTAC Stalker Scout. It is just the fastest aiming down sight speed scope. If you need to get a quick shot off, is definitely the best stock to throw on. Now, honestly, the bipod, it's a great attachment as it has no cons and it just helps you crouch and prone recoil control. I'm personally going to keep on my FMJ. I like the way it's been working for me. I find it does just that little bit of extra damage that you might need. So I'm going to leave that on for now. You could also run the ammunition, 7-round mags or 9-round mags, but it does affect your movement speed and aim down sight speed. So I think I'm going to leave those off as well. I don't really need those extra shots. You can just reload if you need to. Generally, if you're playing with a sniper, you usually have cover that lets you reload. This is probably the fastest ADSing sniper you can kind of create. So I really like it for that sense. It looks kind of dope too, don't you think? But anyway, this is a class I would pick up again late game after I already have one main loadout selected. This is the second loadout drop I would then take this class from. That way it's almost as if I'm running overkill without having to run it. Now the difference between this class actually and my running gun class, as you can see, I have amped on. Amped is going to let you switch your weapons faster. So if you get a quick snipe on somebody and break their armor, you can then quickly switch to your secondary weapon, whether that be the MP5 or M4 or whatever gun you're using, and then get some quick shots off and down the enemy as well. But from there, that's going to do it, guys. Those are the attachments and the gun loadouts I run. If you guys want me to talk a little bit more in depth about the perks and what I think is very, very good perks for you guys to run, you kind of saw them there, but there are more perks we can talk about and go over. If you guys want to see that video, make sure you drop a like on this one. Let me know down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you share it to anybody else who enjoys the form of entertainment, as it really helps me and helps the channel grow. Check me out on twitch.tv. Check me out at twitter.com. Even Instagram. Why not? Same handle, at IamConnorWoods. Whatever suits you best. That's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for chilling me today in the woods. Hope you guys have a great day. And we'll see you on another day. Thanks, guys. Au revoir.